Right. I don't know why with House One Story there was like 8 different iterations when it looks like this, and with House Two Story there are two. Maybe because I didn't use the noise modifier. I don't know, but there's them separate, which will show up eventually. I promise. I keep on forgetting how slow 3DS Max is when everything else loads so quickly. Oh, go away! Right. Yeah, it's all separate. The house doesn't have an underside. You can see the little gap that I ended up fixing in the combined version. You can see the door. You can see like little nails that I put in the planks. You can see the potato basket here with all the potatoes in them. The potatoes, which have the same, it was exactly the same as the coal. It was exactly the same as the coal. It was literally just like a cylinder that was just added a noise modifier on top. It wasn't a cylinder, it was a sphere, close enough. But yeah, that's how the potatoes were made, and then I used the same tutorial which I had before. In fact, I don't even think I used a tutorial. Once you've watched the tutorial once, it's really easy to understand what you did. But I used this exact same tutorial here, Mass Effect Simulation in 3ds Max, to do the physics simulation for each of those potatoes. And in fact, if I remember correctly, if I might not remember correctly, from me. There we go. Yeah. These are all the things currently being simulated back when they were all separate objects. Um, yeah, yeah. That's all the proof I really have of it. But I promise that was physically simulated because there's no way I'm going to place all of those potatoes manually. What do you think I am? I actually don't. That's the grass. Why is the grass still open? I actually don't know. How many polys this takes up. So what if I just go here and like turn that off? Oh. Um. Hmm. So maybe I already knew this as I was doing it. I kind of did it for the meme, but maybe simulate. Maybe like having what is this like 15,000? Yeah, I think 15,000 individually modeled potatoes stored in a little box isn't the best idea in terms of keeping the poly count down. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and then I combined it all into one object purely to make the unwrap a little bit easier. Because all the potatoes, if you, I don't know if you remember actually, all the potatoes were already individually unwrapped. Go away. All the potatoes were were already unwrapped. The only thing that isn't attached is, in fact, the test potato. Uh, oh yeah, there's a door backplate, which doesn't. You can't see it. You can't see the door backplate. But yeah, it's the house. There was literally one inspiration, and that was Unit One, Task One. We made this little house in 3ds Max, and I feel like stylistically this one's better, but proportion-wise this one's better. Like if I got those little lines there and those little details and that fancy window and that fancy door and that fancy chimney and put them all here, like, and proportion them correctly, it would look better. But I feel like that one has a more clear and distinct style. I remember being much prouder of that than I am now, but that's kind of what happens when you're a creative. You really, really like what you've made, and then you look back on it 3 weeks later and go, oh my god, I'm the worst creative to ever exist. Yeah, everybody goes through that. It's not just you. So yeah, there's the unwrap, there's the poly count, there's it from different angles. Here's it in 3ds Max again, in case you didn't get sick of it. Here's it lagging. Don't know why I was doing that. Probably because it's rendering 15,000 potatoes. But yeah, that's the house. That's the house. I don't want to save the changes, and there's the FBX file as well, which I made, which is just the house with the potatoes. It's so many potatoes. The reason I know it's roughly 15,000 potatoes, I think it's 15,083, is because when I was modeling those potatoes and duplicating them in their ridiculous amounts, because it automatically, it automatically assigns numbers to duplicate objects. So say if you get like cylinder and then you make another cylinder, it will call that new cylinder 002. By the end, I had potato 158 something, 1584, I think. And one of those potatoes with the original potatoes. So that's 15,000 potatoes in one object. It's also why the unwrap looks a bit like this. Yeah, all of these are potatoes. All of these are like the end bits of potatoes. Yeah, you look on the texture file, it looks worse. There's just bricks of potatoes. It's nothing but potatoes. It's semi ridiculous. I love it. So that's 2-story house, 3ds Max. That's that recorded. Whoopity doo. I can end it here.